never have too much Clank in space. Thanks for joining me at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Melissa Dope. Today I'm talking about the expansions to Clank in Space. So far there have been 3. There's Adventures Pulsarcade, there's also Cyber Station 11, and then the earliest one I believe was Apocalypse. Now these review copies were provided by the publishers Renegade Game Studios and Direwolf Digital. I'm not going to cover the rules of the base game in this video. Instead, I'm just going to focus on the new expansion Pulsarcade and then compare all of the expansions. Here are the components you'll get in Pulsarcade. It has a master control board, which replaces the original command module. There are 3 double-sided module boards, wooden racer tokens, and an arcade-style boss token, research tokens, disguise kit market items, additional credits, and arcade cabinets. So kind of playing into the arcade theme of this expansion, you have to collect tokens in order to steal an artifact. One of the main ways to get tokens is to meet the requirements on the arcade cabinets, which is kind of like its own mini-game. The requirements are things like having a contraband market item, making 4 or more Clank on your turn, wasting 3 boots by not moving with them, using a telepad, and more. When you get to the master control board, you can gain extra tokens by completing a skill shot and by standing on the +2 redemption space. Your total token value determines which artifacts you can steal. The master control board and arcades are compatible with the base game and Apocalypse, but not the Cyber Station expansion. Regardless of whether you play with the new control board, you can use the new modules. The 6 options add a lot of variability to the game. 2 of them use the racing meeples. On the racetrack, you get to move forward when you acquire or defeat more than 1 card from the adventure row on your turn. If you can cross the finish line, you'll get points. So with the racetrack board, I really had to think about whether I wanted to get 1 high-cost card or split up my skill across several cards. You get to move a space for each card you gain after the first one. In Danger Theater, you get to advance when you make at least 3 Clank during your turn. As you go higher, you unlock ongoing benefits, like not having to stop at checkpoints. You can gain a research token in the research lab. Once per turn, you can activate your token if you play a reserve card, which is Phaser, Boldly Go, or Memory Core. The black market gives you different ways to purchase market items. You could go cheap for 5 credits and 2 Clank, or maybe shell out 9 credits, but also get a power crystal. At the cloning vats, you can clone yourself. When a red bounty hunter cube is drawn from the bag, your clone takes the hit instead of you receiving a damage. Ransacking the vault can get you a lot of credits. The vault's value increases with each black cube pulled from the bag. But getting in and out of the vault causes you to make 3 Clank. Is it worth it? Those 6 modules can be mixed and matched with the base game and any of the other expansions. The one exception is that you shouldn't use the vault when you're playing with a scheme from the Apocalypse expansion. So I've really enjoyed this expansion. Going for the arcade requirements adds a twist that's caused me to have to adjust my normal strategies. I've also had to pay attention to the other players since there's a limited number of each arcade. I'm not positive about this, but I think the Adventures name in the title suggests that this is the first in a line, similar to the Expeditions expansions for original Clank. The packaging is definitely the same. So how does Pulsarcade compare to the other expansions? One of the big things is that this one doesn't add any cards to the deck. The new gameplay mechanics are coming through the master control board with the arcades and through the module boards. The big thing with Apocalypse is the scheme cards. Each one has several bad things that will trigger when enough black cubes are placed on it. Some of the new cards give you ways to remove cubes from the scheme and even spend cubes for benefits. I think Apocalypse makes the game more challenging, especially if you use the higher level schemes. It also introduces a bit of a semi-cooperative aspect to the game. Is everyone going to work together to keep the scheme under control? Maybe just one or two players are focusing on the scheme while the others are going about their business. Some penalties, they aren't too bad, but others can really disrupt your strategy. Cyberstation 11 has a completely new layout, so it definitely shakes things up. It also introduces cyberware cards that stay out and give you permanent benefits if you discard a power crystal when you play it. The other significant addition is the executive escape pods in the command module. These two pods are much easier to reach, but they're worth only 10 points instead of 20, so do you risk racing across the station to reach the regular escape pods, or do you take the quicker exit? With a total of 6 escape pods, it's definitely easier to get off the station, so you'll probably have fewer players get left behind. So all 3 expansions bring something new and interesting to the game. I don't think there are any duds. The best options just depend on how you'd like to alter the game. If you want more of a challenge, check out Apocalypse. If a new layout, permanent cards, and easier escapes sounds appealing, then Cyberstation 11 is what you're looking for. If you're a fan of arcades, mini-games, and a new way to steal artifacts, go with Pulsarcade. It's a tough call, but I think Pulsarcade is my favorite of the 3. It made it into our top 10 expansions of 2021 video. I'll link that right up there. Do you have a favorite Clank in Space or regular Clank expansion? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.